All right, class, you're doing really well. Let's go to chapter 12, now the muscles of the appendicular system. All right, yeah, let's pump some iron. Look at that. Again, not natural at all. Sure, there's supplementation going on here. And then for this lady, of course, women don't have enough testosterone to really get this physique, so she would have to supplement as well. And then when you have testosterone, you lose your female features, so she's had obviously some breast augmentation as well. So not natural. I'm not sure why people like this, but this is a sport and they like it, so, and maybe that's their job. So all right, some actions of the thoracic muscles. So remember scapula. You have two of these. This is our right scapula. So our scapula does lateral rotation, medial rotation, elevation, depression, protraction front, and then retraction in the back. Okay, so it does all sorts of motions, and it's got rhomboids, traps, teres major, supraspinatus, all these muscles that attach to that that we'll go over a little bit later. But the scapula is very important. Muscles that act on the arm. Here's your pectoralis major. You've got your delts. You've got the triceps and the biceps. Now, when we look at someone's arms, it tells us a lot. We love to work out our arms. There's a lot of good muscle. When we go to the gym, usually you'll do some bicep curls. You'll do tricep extensions. Now, the more you learn about the different heads of the biceps and the different heads of the triceps, you can try to exercise them in a little different manner. So learning the origin insertion will help you target either the short head or the long head of the biceps. Look at these delts. Oof, this guy's a beast. But you can really see the anterior delt, the middle delt, and the posterior delt on this guy. You see a little bit of anomaly here. So you look at the anterior delt, but his middle delt on this one looks a lot different than this one. So there's obviously a discrepancy going on here. It looks like he might have injured this one on the left somehow. But look at the nice even form on this. Okay. You can see the posterior delt looks nice, but his middle delt, there's something that happened here. Look at his triceps, biceps, pecs, abs, vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, rectus femoris, his gastrocs that kind of jump out here. So it's pretty good. This guy's a beast. Not natural though. So if you look at those muscles, serratus, pec minor, and then if you look at the back here, you got these are the rotator cuff. You got the supraspinatus, you've got the infraspinatus, the teres minor right here, and then the teres major. Look at these triceps, the lateral head, the long head, and then you have a medial head. So if you do diamond push-ups, you can get the medial head right in here, and here's your lats. Okay. So the teres major is actually not part of the rotator cuff. It extends and medially rotates the humerus here. Okay. So here's what a cadaver looks like. Unfortunately, we don't have cadavers at Santa Ana anymore, but this is what cadaver. You like a filet mignon, a little porterhouse steak. Yeah, that's what you're eating right there. So look at that. It's disgusting, right? So enjoy that red meat when you eat it. Here's a deltoid. Here's pectoralis major. Here's the biceps, the long head and the short head, and the serratus anterior right in here. I call those the Bruce Lee muscles. Here's the cadaver in the back, levator scapulae, rhomboids, minor and major, delts, infraspinatus, teres major. Here's your lats and your triceps here. Okay. Your rotator cuff muscles, this is a very common site of injury for most people that have shoulder injuries. You have a supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, subscapularis. Okay. So a good question on maybe the midterm would be all the following are part of the rotator cuff muscles except. So make sure you use that little study guide I gave you for the midterm. I think that will help you. Now look at these guys. That doesn't seem right. Look at this. That's not the anatomical position. I mean, he's in 90, here's 90, and this is almost, just looking at this gives me the heebie-jeebies. So no wonder these guys have shoulder problems. But in order to produce force, these guys, this is what they're producing out of their shoulder. So eventually they're going to have issues later on. They've overstretched their ligaments, and these guys have elbow, shoulder issues, you name it. All right. Now we go on to muscles acting on the forearm. Brachialis is the prime mover of the elbow. Biceps brachii supinates the forearm and flexes both elbows. So when you're doing biceps work, you want to move your palms and supinate so that you get the short head of the biceps. If you want the long look, elongated look, you want to extend your arm a little bit. And if you want to get the separation between your biceps and your triceps, you want to work that brachialis. Like I said, the more you learn about the muscles' origin insertions, you can really isolate the muscles and really work them out. Here's a supinator. Here's supinator. Supination, I always say, sup, man. So you see supination. Pronation is the other way. Now, if you want to target the biceps, you would start off this way and then bend your elbow and then have your palm going towards that, and you'll work the biceps. If you want to work the brachioradialis and the brachialis and try to get that separation between your triceps and biceps, keep your palm facing this way and bend your elbow, and since the brachialis inserts more onto the ulna, you'll get more of that separation. So little tidbits here and there to work your arms. Again, I wish I was in class. I could really show you this, but hopefully you'll just have to go by my voice. Here's the muscles of the forearm. A lot of muscles of the forearm. Probably they're all getting tired right now because we're on the computer a lot. You've heard of tennis elbow, carpal tunnel here, right? Carpal tunnel, we talked about this in class. If you get overuse, you're going to get a little tendinitis. Tendinitis is inflammation of the tendons here. So you've got your the flexor carpi ulnaris, which flexes the forearm. You've got the palmaris longus. You've got the brachioradialis here. Okay. Here's the other side. You've got the extensors, so they extend carpi ulnaris. Remember, they're named for a reason. Extend carpi, which is the wrist, and ulnaris, it's on the ulnar side. So understanding why they're named, abductor pollicis longus. So abducts, pollicis is your thumb, and it's the longer version of that. This extends your thumb. Okay, so they're all named for a reason. Brachioradialis, it goes from the brachii, which is your arm, to the radius. So it's called the brachioradialis. Okay, supinator. It's called the supinator because it supinates the arm. Okay, the forearm. The flexor carpi radialis, the flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor digitorum superficialis, extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor digitorum, extensor carpi ulnaris. Okay, and then you've got the muscles, the intrinsic muscles of the hand right in here. So you've got the adductor pollicis brevis. And the reason I skipped through that because those are those are important, but we won't see that, and I won't test you on that as much. You'll have that for later on use here. So you see the abductor pollicis brevis here, flexor pollicis brevis, and then this is the carpal tunnel that goes through here. Okay, and then here's some more digiti minimi. You've got the lumbricals. Look at all these tendons that go through here. So if this tendon sheet gets really inflamed, you can have all sorts of pain. And right now my wrist is inflamed from being online and trying to get all these tests and going online. I'm sure you guys are the same way. So we're getting a little bit of tendinitis and getting inflammation. So make sure you rest, stretch out, and exercise as much as possible. All right, good job, guys. Here's the rotating hand. Take a look at that.